I'd come to my dad with problems sometimes when I was in high school, and I'd be complaining about what somebody else said, and he'd just go, so, like, all right, what are we gonna? I'd be like, no, Dad, you don't understand. I got this. And he'd go, so, like, every time it was just, okay, what are you gonna do about it?
Welcome to the Tip the Scales podcast, where we discuss running and growing your law firm. I'm your host, Maria Monroy, president and co-founder of LawRank. Today's guest, Jefferson Fisher, I am like a total fan of. I'm super excited. If you don't follow him on Instagram or TikTok, you are missing out. I really hope you guys enjoy this because I was really excited for it. Jefferson Fisher.
Well, hi, Maria.
Hi. At least I'm not fangirling you today. We got past that.
We got past that.
I got past that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well,
So-
right now we're just friends. Just
Yeah.
two friends sitting on a couch talking about life.
So tell us what's new.
Well, it's been almost exactly a year
Oh,
since the last time we spoke.
also, I'm not going to fucking cuss
Yeah, it's going to be a clean podcast.
because your fans
Yes.
get really mad at me and actually take the time to find me on social media
Yeah.
and tell me how it's not very ladylike of me to cuss.
Yeah.
I'm going to try really hard.
We can do it.
Okay.
It's going to
I
be
know you can do it because like
it's going to
you're
be
so
a
polite.
clean show.
I think I'm going to post a clean version and then like a real version.
A real version? Okay.
I'm going to title it
All right.
clean.
Got it. It's
Like,
perfect.
and then I'll do the other one explicit.
Oh, great.
What do you think?
They have that explicit rating on it. Like,
Yeah, and then like
what you see on
a
mixtapes.
clean one and a non-clean. Like, you know
I
how
think it sounds
songs
perfect.
have like,
Uh-huh.
what do you think? Do you think your fans would be okay with it or you think they'd still be offended?
Oh, people will find a way to be offended about anything. So
But maybe
this
some
is
will.
your podcast.
That is true.
And I'm your guest.
That
so
is
It's
true.
going to be whatever.
When I cuss, does it bother you?
No,
No. Do you think it's not ladylike of me?
it's not a gender thing to me.
Okay.
Most
What is
people
it?
who say it's not ladylike are those that it's because they're the ones that are of a particular gender. But to me, there's just better words to use. But it's also a cultural. It's how you grew up. It's what you're around. There's nothing wrong with it. What I somewhat raise my eyebrows at is when people use it in every single sentence, when they find a way to just replace it. And it sometimes tells me this person's overly, or someone who's very emotional.
Yeah. I am overly emotional. But I don't use it in every sentence.
Well, then there you go.
But let's think of alternatives, right? So instead of saying fuck that, what would you say?
Darn. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Instead of
I don't
saying
know. I don't know.
what's another one?
You're not going to like this game. I'm going to it's going to be terrible for me.
Why? You're doing a good job so far.
I'm
So-
floundering.
What
It's
if
okay.
like you're really mad and like you like stub your toe and you say fuck?
Yeah.
Darn again?
Yeah, you can some other word probably other than that. Doggone it.
Doggone it. Okay.
Doggone it. My
Okay.
grandfather used to say foot. He'd say foot on it.
Put on it. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little weird. There's a lot of
Freaking?
my daughter says biscuits.
Okay. Biscuits. Instead of
Biscuits.
what? Instead of fuck?
Yeah. Probably not. I think she just knows it as biscuits.
Okay,
but-
biscuits. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
think.
All right, but tell me what's new with you.
No. You don't get to take over. You have
Oh
your own
my
podcast.
gosh.
Oh, you have a podcast? Let's start
I do
there.
have a podcast.
Okay,
yes.
what's it about?
Well, it's almost the same format as my videos that I make. It's
From the
just
car?
From the car. It's still in the car. I just make them longer.
Yeah.
So it's instead of a 1-minute video, it's 10 to 15 minutes of a video.
Are they in the car?
They're also in the car.
Oh, wow. I love that.
I love that
You're-
you've never seen it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to send you the
Well,
link
yes.
to it.
I'm not going to lie and say that I've seen it. I've been
Yeah.
meaning to listen to it. I would
You're
not see
fine.
it.
You're just fine.
But
But
I'm
yeah.
still on the Huberman.
He's great.
Aren't
Believe
you
it or
friends
not-
with him?
Mm-hmm. He's cool.
So I have a crush on him. Do you think that maybe you could put me on a 3-way text with him?
Probably not.
Okay. I tried.
Probably not. I think he's on a good path right now.
Right now?
I think he's
But we know
he's on a good path.
Well, according to that article, I think
No,
maybe
he's
we
a
can
great
convince
guy.
him otherwise.
He's a great guy. I'm not worried about that
Okay.
article.
I'm just kidding. For the record, I am happily married before somebody also gives me, what would I say instead of shit? A hard time.
A hard time.
A hard
Look
time.
at that.
Look
hard
at that. I'm getting
time.
better. A
I
hard
know it.
time.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's been incredibly kind and just helping me with any questions about podcasts and sponsors
Really?
and everything. Yeah, he's just a really nice guy.
What if you just FaceTime him and I say hi?
He'd probably not.
No?
Probably won't.
I'm really trying here.
I know.
All right. So you have a podcast
Yep.
similar to your videos, but longer content.
Yes.
How's it doing?
It's doing really, really well.
How
Way
many
better.
episodes have you done?
15?
Wow. You're quick.
15? And yeah.
Solo episodes.
Solo episodes. It was number 1 on Apple for like a week and a half.
That's amazing. Are you going to have Mel Robbins on? I love her.
Or
are they all going to be solos?
I was on her podcast.
You were on her podcast.
I was on her podcast.
I know. I saw you guys did something
a few weeks ago, and it was great. She's so cool.
I know.
She was so cool. And it was a great mix because, as you know, I'm very slow and calm and pretty even keel.
Yeah.
And she's not. She's very like Richter scale. Everything's going super, super fast, but she does it beautifully. So that was a whole lot of fun. And then on my podcast, it's just my car episodes, and it's done great. A whole lot of downloads.
Do you love it? Do you love doing it?
I think I'll like it more when I start involving other people.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Right now, it's just one person, and because I just want to test to see if I liked it. That's all. Just want to see if I liked it and how it was going for me and how it fit my world and my family and all that. But it's been cool. I can't believe it's been a year.
I know.
Since we did this.
I know.
Like
already.
It's almost the same exact weather.
Yeah, well.
Same exact place.
I think it's a little bit better.
And backdrop. Everything looks great.
Same backdrop, yeah.
Yeah, everything looks wonderful.
Maybe this is like a dream.
For a moment, that could have been like a Matrix moment. For a moment, you got me.
Do you ever think about that?
If it was just all some kind of Matrix computer program?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Do you ever think about it or no?
I don't really think about it, but I have thought about before of like, that's odd. Like see somebody move something a certain way.
Right?
Or two strangers do something at the same time. And you're like,
or something happens that you're like so sure of. Like one time I was at a conference and I packed these specific workout leggings. I saw them, I moved them, I put them in a drawer. And then when it came time to pack, I couldn't find them anywhere.
Really?
When I got home, they were back home.
You were absolutely positive.
Well, the most logical explanation is that I like imagined it all.
Uh-huh.
Like I thought I packed them. I thought I moved them from the suitcase to the drawer. And then when it came time to find them, I actually had 2 of my employees come and help me look for them because I was like, I think I'm going crazy. I am 100%.
That's how sure you were.
I was so sure we moved everything. And then when I got home, they were there.
How wild.
And I was like, is this the Matrix?
It's probably the Matrix.
Or I just have really bad memory, which I do.
Or that too. I got to tell you, my memory's not the best either.
No.
My memory's really not the best.
I know. 2 people, you just didn't recognize them.
I don't know why.
What's the best way to handle that? Because I don't remember anyone that I meet at these things. And then people actually get mad and they get butthurt and they think what's a better word than the word I'm going to use? They think I'm mean.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That was great.
I'm working on it.
You really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're really doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've had several people come up to me and say hi, and I feel terrible when I don't recognize them right away.
Do you feel terrible? I don't feel terrible.
I don't like it.
You're just so much nicer than me. We talked about this last time.
That's true.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah. But there's pros and cons of each personality. To me, I hate it if somebody knows me and like we've met before and I don't remember them.
But so many people know who you are, though. I think it's like it's much easier for people to remember you than it is for you to remember them because you are like, what do you call it?
Oh, social media stuff?
Yeah, like no, I don't like the word influencer.
Yeah, whatever that is.
No, there's a name for it. Like when you're like a
influencer?
Social, like a persona, like a help me out here.
Social media guy?
No, somebody that has like a presence, a public figure. Thank you. There we go. I thanked myself.
Public figure.
Nobody gave that to me.
You did it. That was all on you.
Yes.
Great job.
Thank you.
Lots
of positive reinforcement.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And also the name Jefferson is more unique and probably that's easier to remember.
Yes.
Versus if my name was just Carl or something. I just met somebody today and introduced myself and they say, you look like a Jefferson. So I'm like, all right.
That's nice.
That's a win.
That is a win. Your parents said something right.
Yeah. If they had told me you don't look like a Jefferson, I probably would have gone back home.
Now let's talk about your book.
Okay.
What's your book about?
My book comes out in March. It's currently available on pre-order. And it's called The Next Conversation, Argue Less, Talk More.
Okay.
And it's a book that is teaching people how to communicate. And I talk to them about how everything you want to say and how to say it can be found in just the next conversation.
I love that. I definitely need to read this because
thank you.
I argue all the time.
I'll send you one for sure.
Okay, I can't wait. I actually really do need to read it.
Well, yeah, cool.
So I don't know if we talked about this last time. I should have re-listened to our conversation. But one of the things that I've been working on for the past few years is because I'm very confrontational. I'm okay with being confrontational. For a long time, I felt like I had to pick every fight, or maybe we've talked about it privately. I always just felt like if there was a battle, let's have the battle, right? Let's go to war.
Yeah, let's bring it.
But in the past few years, I've really stopped doing that.
Good.
Because I'm I don't have to have a fight every time. It's just so draining. I really pick my fights now or my battles.
I think that's amazing because people who, it's that mantra of don't attend every argument you're invited to.
Yeah.
And the people that do, when you used to do, when you RSVP yes to every single one, it's tiring.
And you have no control. Everybody else controls when they're going to get you out of sorts.
Well, it's definitely a control thing, but also the ability to just go, I don't have to respond to that.
Yeah.
That in of itself is a control move.
I agree. I got a text recently that I really wanted to respond to initially. My initial reaction was to respond. And then I thought about it and I was like, this person really doesn't deserve my response or my time. I don't even respect this person. Why am I going to engage?
Right.
You know?
What I tell people is when somebody sends you an ugly text or a text that you could start a fight over and you say nothing. You just don't respond until the following day. The person who said the wrong thing, in a few hours, it eats at them and they realize, oh man, I really messed up or I just said the wrong thing. And it starts to, now you're living in their head rent free, all because you just chose to say, nah, I'm not going to make that my thing. I got my kind of thoughts on that from my dad. Now, I'd come to my dad with problems sometimes when I was in high school and I'd be complaining about what somebody else said and he'd just go, so, all right, what are we gonna? I'd be like, no, Dad, you don't understand. I got this. And he'd go, so, every time it was this, okay, what are you gonna do about it? And often it was, what he would say is, don't make it your Alamo, is the way he would say it. In other words, is that gonna be the hill that you're gonna die on with this person at this time over this issue? Because often what he was telling me is you're making it more about you than you are about the actual issue. So that was really a great foundation for handling those kind of issues. I think delaying it is smart.
How do you handle somebody really letting you down? Somebody that you do care about that really does, because I've had 2 incidents in my life where 2 really good friends did something that really hurt me, disappointed me deeply.
Yeah.
Right. And I try to take myself out of the equation and say, well, this isn't personal, right? Because for whatever reason, they're acting this way. And I can't get into details, but knowing that it's not personal, but it still impacts me on a personal level. So how do you handle disappointment?
When you've been disappointed?
Yeah.
Or when you need to disappoint somebody?
No, when they've disappointed you deeply.
Yeah, that's hard. It depends like you mentioned, depends what they're doing, depends what let you down. I think if you've made time for that discussion, if you set aside actual real time and you lead it in terms of not what they did, but how you feel in terms of I feel let down or this is not how I wanted it to go or what your expectation was or your intention was. Where it goes south very quickly is when you start attacking the other person and getting them defensive. So often if you can come at it from the place of help me understand what was happening during this time or help me understand what was going through your head when you said this response or where this was coming from. It's this idea of having something to learn rather than something to prove. So when you ask...
being curious.
Yeah, when you ask them, I'm asking so that I have this knowledge. Help me understand it. That way, instead of you just attacking them and then they're just always on the back foot.
I love that. I really do.
Uh.
Let's talk about what everybody thinks about when they think of you, social media.
Probably some nice guy who makes videos in his car and that grandmothers wish would marry their daughter.
Granddaughters.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
probably.
cute. But
Probably. And they're all so sweet.
But I think a lot of lawyers look to you to say, well, how do I do this? How do I post on social media?
I don't know if I feel that way. I really don't feel like attorneys, by and large, attorneys see it as something of, I think they see it as something of value, but not in the same way the people that follow me feel that way. I think they see it as, I just wonder if it's really getting him enough cases. Is it really worth his time? Is it really, what's the bottom line? So I don't feel like it's the same respect. Not that it's not a respect thing. I just don't think that attorneys nearly care about it the same way.
You don't think that every attorney wants to be like social media famous?
No.
Really?
No,
I know a lot
I
of
don't.
lawyers that would love to.
I don't know. I've always felt that it's either some, or I can tell are from a sense of jealousy, and then there are others that are really just curious how it's affecting my bottom line, or how is it getting you business. And so where I have to have that conversation of, it's not about how much money it's making me. It's not about, I make a great living with or without the social media. This is about doing good for the right reasons. What do I need? It's not for the money. So, and I think that's hard. It's a different mentality for people to have. And I think it might be different for, let's say, personal injury attorneys, plaintiff attorneys, versus ones that are in family law, and they use it to help with their clients that are going through divorces and having hard custody battles. And, most plaintiff attorneys think that they already have communication handled. They don't need any communication advice. That's been my...
No, but I think they want the type of following that you have.
Oh, I'm sure.
What do you think they do wrong when they go to social media?
What they're wanting out of it. If they're wanting it for more money, they're in the wrong... You're right there. You're on the wrong foot.
So what do you think they should utilize social media for?
To make the world... It's going to sound cheesy and cliche, but it's really to make the world a better place. I mean, if you're doing it for the right reasons to help people, it doesn't have to be communication advice. It could be anything. But as long as it's making the world a little bit better, if it's on the good side of social media, where you're sending a good message, whatever it is, that's a whole lot better, in my view, than if all you do is sell yourself on personal injury and all you do is accidents. I just think you're going to limit your audience that way. If all I did was do personal injury videos,
You wouldn't have an audience.
I wouldn't have a fraction. I wouldn't even have a quarter of what I have, because you're capped. People they want to see how you can improve their life, not how they can make yours more money.
Right. Now, have you been letting your followers know? Because like when I followed you initially, I didn't know you were a PI lawyer. I didn't even know you were a lawyer.
Yeah.
Have you been doing any videos to let your audience know what you do?
No. And I still have calls out the wazoo.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But the thing is, I always thought of it as, if anytime I wanted to turn on the faucet and make 3 videos about telling people what I do, and I that would be a lot of volume.
Yeah.
And that's just a whole different world. Is that really one I want to open? Do I want to open that can? I don't know. I've always trusted my gut. I've always had a very strong sense of self and what I feel that I discern in the moment. If it doesn't feel right to me, then it's just a no. I don't have to explain it to anybody. That's fine. There's some personal injury attorneys like, I would make every video about this and I do this, X, Y, Z, and get these leads. And that's not my driving motivator.
Right. Now let's talk about intuition for a minute, because I think it's rare to hear someone say that they use their intuition, especially a male, in my opinion. I'm really big on intuition. Like, I can tell very quickly how I feel about someone, sometimes even through pictures. Like, I'm just really big on it. And I'm really big on trusting your gut.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I just trust it and it seems to work. So like, and I try to teach my kids that. And I think it's hard to verbalize and it sounds like woo-woo and like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like for you or feel like for you when you say, I trust my gut?
To me, it's the power of discernment. like that ability to be very comfortable with yourself and the sound of your own voice, and being able to hear your voice and know what seems right, what seems wrong. It really, there are decisions based off the seams, and it appears. I don't have to have it 100% for me to be able to go a certain way. Even if it's 50.1%, that's enough for me to know that's not where I'm going to go. But we all have this sixth sense about us. I mean, we all know when somebody's being sincere. I feel like we all know when somebody's being genuine, or if they're acting in accordance with who they are, or is this person just wearing fancy clothes to be fancy? Are they somebody who's actually could be awesome, but extremely humble and maybe a little bit more shy? We all have that sixth sense about us. I am a firm believer that your intuition is what carries the day when in terms of who you choose as a life partner, or any partner, or business, or where you want to go. A lot of decisions really just can rest on a few clicks of intuition.
Yeah. I think, I don't know like how you teach this to your kids, but like for me lately, it's been just teaching them to first learn to listen to how they feel. Right. So like my daughter was like really overwhelmed the other day. She was just overtired. She was crying. Everything was a fit. I'm sure you've dealt with this, like just tantrum after
Dealt
tantrum.
with that today. Yeah.
So I finally sat her on my lap and I was like, I need you to just listen to your body. Like, just tell me, what do you need right now? And she goes, I need sleep. And I was like,
she knew.
Well, it would have been a 30-minute argument of, I don't want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. But because she said it, then she was willing to go to bed. Right. So I think for me, I'm trying to teach my kids this, because I think that if you don't learn to trust like what you need as like how can you even trust like your gut, right? And then the other thing, I don't know if you know this, but like I don't know if it's true. I guess I should fact check it. But that people that are like, I don't know how to say this, liars or like more distrusting tend to like fall for scams more. So, once I really thought about it, I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. A, energetically, like you're in that frequency. But B, I think that if you trust your gut, right, you're more likely to find people like you. Mm-hmm. Like you're more in tune with like, I don't know how to explain it, but like you're just more in tune with that.
Yeah, you're in the same frequency.
Right. But if you're kind of shady, like that's what's going to resonate with you, something shady, because you are shady.
Yeah.
Right?
I like to put it in terms of like a radio frequency.
Mm-hmm. I try to explain that to my kids, but they're like, what's a radio frequency? And I was like,
that's true. Well, that's not the way I explain it to my kids, but that's the way I think about it is if I have a very clear signal and I can tell this other person's not on the same frequency I am, I mean, we're going to have that static. We're not going to mesh. We're going to, it's kind of unspoken between us that we're not really going to be good friends. We're going to be friendly, but we don't link. But the people who are your best friends, the people who are your ride or dies, I mean, you're in the same frequency all the time. And those are your people. The way I think we teach it to our kids is, well, one, my son is extremely empathetic. And he is a lot of my same. He's very sensitive to other people's feelings, extremely sensitive to other people's feelings in a beautiful way. And he's great about saying, I feel sad, or when you said that made me feel scared, or I feel nervous. He's great at saying how he's feeling. My daughter, complete opposite. My daughter's like all fire. She's just a total, she's feeling it in the moment. That's when she feels it. And she has to like combust and then like finally come down from it. And now she's good. But it's like we have to let her, okay, go ahead, Ruby. And so she'll just combust for a second and then she has to calm down.
Aww.
As long as we provide a safe space for that.
Absolutely. So
there's nothing wrong with it.
I've been following Dr. Becky.
Yeah. Also wonderful.
Yes. I know that you guys did a TikTok or something.
Yeah, we did a reel together and we've always just stayed in touch.
So I do her Big Feelings, Kids with Big Feelings program.
DFKs.
Yes.
Yeah, Deep Feeling Kids.
Because I have one.
Yeah, that's our daughter.
Oh, and it's so rough, but like even just being like the whole I believe you, because she's like big on saying that, like I believe you, and just like I'm not afraid of your feelings. Like even just saying that has helped so much. Yeah. I need to finish that program actually.
We use that I can see. I can see that you're having a hard time. I can see you're not wanting to go to take a bath.
I need to do that.
I can
Okay.
see, it's a lot of that.
Acknowledging, right?
I can see that you need some help. Like that is, we say that a lot with
Yeah, but
her.
see, you seem like a very calm parent.
I am.
Yeah, like I'm not.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I try. Sometimes I lose it and then I apologize.
Yeah, well,
At
I
least
mean,
I apologize.
I certainly lose it. I mean,
Really?
yeah, of course. I mean, I think it's
And do you
natural.
apologize?
Of course.
My parents never apologized. So to me, that was like a new thing of like, so I've been telling my daughter something because like I come from a Latin family. We're very fiery.
But that's cultural.
That is cultural.
Yeah?
But I want to
mean-
break that because I think that's just like an excuse to not do better, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
So like I tell her like, no one should talk to you a certain way, including me. And when I yell at you, you need to tell me you told me that nobody should talk to me this way, including you. And she does it.
Ooh, I love that.
Isn't that so good? And
That
she
is
actually
great.
does it and it stops me in my tracks and I feel so bad. And I'm like upset, but at the same time, I'm like so proud. And I'm also so like, I feel like so bad.
That's a win.
A total win.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
think that's
like,
a win.
you're right. I'm sorry. I need a minute, more like 10 minutes. So like, that's a new one that I've been doing because we needed a way to like have them tell me that without me being even more triggered.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't talk to me that way. It's like, you don't talk to me that way.
Yeah.
But that one just like, for some reason, just like, and I don't know how, I just thought of it one day.
I think that's a big win. I'm very blessed in that I had parents that if my dad made a mistake, I mean, he would take my face in his hands and say, Dad's sorry. I'm sorry. Like he would very much make sure that he connected and understood that. So
it's so easy for me
it
to
was,
cry.
it was just and so that was a really, really big moment for me and I do the same thing with Jet, my son. So it's letting them see that we make mistakes too. By the way, I just think that the fact that we even have these kind of conversations,
Right.
Our parents didn't have that.
No.
I mean, if I have to think of my parents didn't have the resources like this, everything that they instilled in me, they just got naturally that they chose was the best path. But there was not near enough the resources. They didn't have Dr. Becky's membership.
That's the
they
thing.
Didn't have all kinds of things.
We have so many access
Social
to so
media.
many things. Like I posted the other day, I guess like 49% of households still spank their kids.
Really?
And I posted about it and I was like, hey, we can do better. Like we know better. Like there's no excuse. Like nobody should be hitting their kids. Like I'm sorry. I don't care if you think you turned out okay and you're hitting your kids, you didn't turn out okay.
Yeah.
I was hit as a kid. Again, Latin upbringing, right? Do you spank your kids?
No, we just really don't need to. I mean, we just talk to them. But
Exactly.
But I mean, I got spanked, but I never thought anything of it. I never thought I was getting hit. Like it was because I was acting bad. We don't gentle parent at all. I mean, we talk to our kids. It's just, but it's not some kind of, hey, we don't let them walk over us by any means.
Well, there's a difference between permissive parenting and gentle parenting.
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
you probably do gentle parent. You don't permissive.
Yeah.
You can be. They say that the worst thing you can do is actually be permissive.
Oh, I believe that.
Loving and permissive is like one of the worst things. Actually, it creates entitled children, which I refuse to have.
I also think that, let's say spanking, because I never seemed to. In my mind, it was never hitting. Like hitting is just like, getting punched in the face. Like spanking is very different, whereas it's particular for a discipline.
Yeah.
But it was, I also think it may be a cultural thing, like more Southern thing. I'm not sure if it's it's
very Latin too.
I mean, every kid I knew in high school, I mean, I got spanked by a coach in elementary school.
But I think that's also like a generation thing.
Yeah.
When we lived in Mexico, I remember when we first moved, they did something that pissed me off. And I was like at a grocery store and I was like, or the mall or something. And I was like, we're not in the U.S. anymore. I can spank you here. No one will say anything. They
Nobody
looked
will
at me
say
like,
anything.
what?
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
Because there, it's like the norm. Like my whole family is like, you don't spank your kids?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they've actually.
Kids are hard.
They've said that it says like it creates similar trauma to sexual abuse. That's what this post that
I definitely got spanked and I didn't feel that. I mean, but I guess there's definitely lines and there's definitely different ways and cultures of how that's accepted or not. But I know kids and communicating with kids, disciplining kids and parenting it's hard.
I also think it sounds like your parents were very present and very self-aware.
I would say, yes, they were self-aware, Yes, they were present. My dad was a practicing trial attorney, still is. So he worked a lot of hours.
But when he was there and like,
When he was there,
from the little you've said, right? Like
No
from our
doubt.
past conversation and then this and like the fact that he would apologize. I think that if you're spanked, but you're in a loving environment, I think that that's probably better. No, it has to be better than if you're in an environment that parents aren't present. Maybe they're not the kindest, not the most loving, and then they're spanking. So I think it all.
Yeah, I remember one time my grandfather made me go. My grandfather was over, and I was actually at their house. I was a kid, and he made me go pick out a switch. So
What's that?
it's like a really thin rod, really thin stick.
To hit you with it?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I forgot what I did, but it just stung. But I mean, like that, I knew to be a very Southern thing. Like if you got in trouble, you need to go pick out a switch. You gotta be real careful which kind you pick. But the smaller ones actually hurt.
You learned
more.
Which one?
Yeah. Particularly at my grandparents. But yeah, kids are hard. But the fact that we even talk about this kind of stuff is, I think, is great. The fact that there's just a lot more conversation about mental health, a lot more conversation about, are you parenting the right way? Are you communicating the right way? A lot of things that we're just blessed to have that the generation above didn't get.
Tell me, what are you excited about?
I'm excited about my talk here in a little bit.
What time do you speak?
I'm on a panel at 3:30.
What are you speaking on?
I'm on a social media panel at 3:30, which that's cool. I dabble in the social media. And
you
then
dabble?
I dabble.
Posted a video here or there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then at 4:00, Bob has me doing a keynote.
Oh, that's amazing. What are you going to talk about?
I'm not sure.
What?
He told me, he was just like, just do whatever.
You haven't prepped?
Okay. No. But I assume it'll be somewhat about what I talk about, communication. It'll be about a little social media.
Let me think.
What do you?
I just want to like mess with you and tell you to like.
Please try.
Talk about how egotistical lawyers are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just offend all of them?
Yeah, definitely.
That would be great.
Let me just offend the entire audience.
I think that would be amazing.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
There'd be a very active feedback card.
Just be like, I hate that I'm associated with you guys.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is just how much money there is in not even the practice of law, but it's like outside of the practice of law.
I thought about that today. As I was walking through the exhibit hall,
yeah,
I was like, there is so much money in this space.
Tons.
I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I'm so grateful for this space.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's there's a whole ecosystem. Anytime you're at a conference, there's a conference happening outside of the conference.
Oh, totally.
Like it's not on the agenda, but it's all there.
Yeah.
Somebody's dinner, somebody's lunch, somebody's whatever, somebody's happy hour, and everybody's like doing it at the same time. And it's just bizarre that way.
It's crazy.
It is, but it's pretty cool that you can even create this kind of life and still do a lot of good, because what y'all do and what LawRank offers also helps us with our clients and helping other people. So you're just another conduit of that.
You're a LawRank client.
I am.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to like use this to just like cut clips and push it out.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah. People will think it's AI. You know that, right?
Yeah. I'll just tell them it's AI.
Yeah,
like I've never met her.
Like the day I posted,
Maria,
be like, it's so weird. Like all these like AI generated videos are being posted saying I'm a client.
You should see the AI books that are coming out on Amazon. They have AI'd my face.
No.
And do have like Life of Jefferson Fisher. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's at least 3 of them on Amazon right now.
Have you done anything?
No, I haven't done anything. I mean, book titles aren't copyright. Unless they say something disparaging or...
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's good practice to, of course, get somebody's permission if I wanted to write a book about Maria.
Right.
But I don't have to.
Huh. I'm going to write a book about you.
We'll just say it's AI. I'm actually working on releasing my AI, so that'll be cool.
Bob has one.
Yes, he does.
You can ask it about me.
I'm afraid to do that.
You should do it, and it responds.
What does it say?
I forget, but he definitely messes with me in there.
Does he?
Yeah.
I imagine it.
It's very annoying, actually.
Who has the best booth here?
I don't know.
Y'all have the best setup for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's the prettiest.
All right. Is there anything else you want to touch on before you go speak?
I just appreciate you and what LawRank does, and
Thank
it's
you.
been great. Appreciate the time to talk. Lovely velvet couch.
Yes, in this heat. I'm
Yeah.
drenched in sweat.
And where's the next place you're taking the kids?
We are going to, Disney.
That's right, Disney.
And then we're going to the Bahamas for Christmas.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, we actually have a ton of trips planned that I'm very excited about.
That's great.
We're going to Madrid for all of June.
Awesome.
Very-
Oh, whoa. All of June?
All of
That's going to
June.
be great.
Yep.
We got, the kids are here. They're at the safari thing. I'll do the zoo with them tomorrow. And then we're going to take them to see snow
My kids
at
have
Christmas
never
time.
seen
They haven't
snow.
seen snow either. So we're going to do that.
My oldest is 12. He's never seen snow. It's really
That's
sad.
awesome. How
Yeah.
young's your youngest?
7.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She's the perfect child.
She's the perfect child.
Ask Sabina if she's like Chloe, the perfect child. Like, literally, she's like the sweetest.
That's wonderful.
She's like,
That's what you need for the youngest.
no, that's what I need in my life.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I need
cool.
that. I need the balance.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
Thank
Let's
you.
do it again next year.
Yes. Okay. You said it.
Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you to everything that Jefferson shared with us today. If you found this story valuable, please share it with someone you want to see succeed. Subscribe so you never miss an episode and leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way to help others discover the show.